Tommy V in Michigan. He was on fire this morning.
Okay, thank you, Tommy V in Michigan. Yes, sir. If you share my prayers.
Tommy V's on. Yeah, we'll jump over there.
Tommy V doing great stuff over there.
Good morning, sir. What's your name, please?
Bill Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You got some traffic matters we're going to deal with first, where you missed some court dates. When you missed those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. Now, you've got two other matters with us today. They both look like retail fraud, so we'll call them together. And that's going to be case 21-045-564 and 21-045-586, both entitled State of Michigan versus Romel Devin Wright. Counsel.
Good morning, Your Honor. Samuel A. Ragnan, P23-157 on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amber Roberts appearing on behalf of Mr. Wright, who's been advised of his rights, will stand mute, ask the court to enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf.
We'll enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I note that both files have KPS at $100, 10% set by Judge Bryant in January of this year, following my having given Mr. Wright $5,000 personal bonds on both cases previously. As to bond, please.
Well, Your Honor, we're going to ask that the bonds remain in place. He's got a history of KPS, cases, Your Honor. But we're also asking, which I think is even more important, is to add a GPS tether with home arrest so he can show up. And what happens, Your Honor, for example, in the one stalking case, 11/29/21, he's ordered not to go back to a certain store. He's not to have any contact with the person from the store. And he goes back the day after he gets out, and he gets arrested a second time. And then he tells the police.
Commissioner, speak freely, sir.
When I got out of there, I went to Cedars-Sinai Hospital instead of going to the store. Well, he's on green light video for all these altercations, but he has multiple KPSs. He doesn't show up. He then gets it reduced to a personal bond and gives another chance, and then it goes right back to a KPS the next time, and that continues on for the last 2 to 3 years. 160 entries in one case alone that he does because he continues to not show up and get the cases resolved. So we're just asking for you to do what you can, I believe, to give him keep the bond that it is, and also, but GPS tether with home arrest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on, Mr. Wright, please.
Right. Let your attorney argue for you. You do have a right to speak if you want to, but I'm sure your attorney would advise you not to. But Ms. Roberts, let's hear from you first, and then maybe you'll address your client.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that Mr. Wright is currently 30 years old, that he's receiving disability. He indicates the reason for the last missed court dates was that after his release, he didn't get his court dates in the mail. Your Honor, I do believe that my client does have medical condition. I would respectfully ask, Your Honor, based on these charges, and one moment. So, Your Honor, I would ask that based on the charges in these cases before the court here today, that you do consider reducing Mr. Wright's bond to personal bond, and making, I think at this point in time, we can make the record clear of the next court dates so that Mr. Wright can understand that the next court dates are being given to him right now. And Mr. Wright, if the magistrate tells you these court dates right now, how are you going to be able to remember those court dates and come to court on your own?
Yes.
Okay.
And so there do appear to be multiple capiases in each file, which is concerning. I'm sure your counsel, sir, there's a time and place to talk, but cutting me off is not how to do it.
Your Honor, if I may add one point to this matter, when he went to
Mr.
the,
Ragland,
pardon me,
are you guys gonna let me talk, or you just want to do it yourselves?
I apologize. No.
Thank you. All right. So there's multiple capiases in each file concerning to the court that that for a case like this, I mean, we're talking retail fraud, apparently from some liquor stores is the allegations. I'm sure Ms. Roberts has told Mr. Wright that he's probably spent more days in jail at DDC than if he pled guilty to this stuff if he comes to court. And so, sir, I would encourage you to come to court and resolve these matters. Bond in both, well, there will be, first of all, in the case ending in 564, there should be no contact with Mr. Boucheri or Ms. Diab, no contact with the Sip Sip liquor store. In the other case, there's to be no contact with the college liquor store. There will be a GPS tether with house arrest. We tried a GPS tether without house arrest previously, resulting in another capias. Bond will be set in each case at $1,000 personal. Next date on each case, sir, is July 8th. July 8th for a pretrial in front of Judge Bryant here in 36th District Court. Anything else for this record?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Can I say something,
Is that
Judge?
the earliest next court date that the court can get in?
I mean, that's only we've got. If you want to reach out to Judge Bryant to move it, you're welcome to do so. I believe your client still wants to say something.
Solitary confinement for this stuff.
Mr. Wright, let me just say this. Before
I
you
spent
start,
time in jail for those
Hold on,
cases
please.
already.
hold on, please. So before you speak, I just want you to be advised that everything you say is not only being recorded, it's also being streamed on YouTube. So everything that you say is going to be overheard by anybody who hears it. So I would strongly encourage you not to say anything about what's alleged in these cases at this time. The court has given you a personal bond with tether with the condition of house arrest. If you feel like you still need to say something to the court, then go ahead. But that's my concern, okay?
Okay, so I thank you, lawyer. So now from here, the county gonna come get me, and I go back on tether. I was just on tether for all those cases. They never came down there. I spent 40 days in solitary confinement. I went to jail for those cases already, and I haven't been at those liquor stores. I used to work at the Sip Sip. I've been to jail already for the cases to the county. I just was on tether. So only reason why I didn't get my court date this time, I was at the NSO building at the shelter trying to get housing. I work at the Coin-O-Matic laundromat right now on Grand River in Kentfield.
Okay. So, sir, I would suggest that you, if you feel that you've, done time on these cases, that's something to take up with Judge Bryant at the pretrial stage. I can't address that here today.
Your Honor.
Okay. Yes.
I would just ask that the court's order does allow, if he's not going to be released on tether, allow release to a facility if unable to verify address. My concern is my client may not have an address to tether to. Can I have one moment with Mr. Wright? Put us in a breakout room. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you want to do it on camera too, or?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. DDC, can you put him on camera too, please?
A few moments later.
Oh, here she is. And Ms. Roberts.
Back on the record for Mr. Wright, please, Your Honor. Your Honor, respectfully, my client has informed me that he is working 3 to 11 p.m. He works 3 to 4 days a week. He's supposed to work tomorrow, works at a laundromat. My concern is obviously the time that it takes to impose a tether. I have had an opportunity to talk with Mr. Wright in more detail. I've confirmed his court date to him of July 8th. Mr. Wright, when's your court date?
July 8th.
Your Honor, I would just respectfully reconsider the imposition of the tether and house arrest based upon everything that's been presented here today.
Can I have his file back? Okay, Ms. Roberts, we'll give Mr. Wright one more shot. No tether. Everything else stays the same.
Thank
Sir,
you.
if you miss this court date and come back in front of me saying somehow you didn't know when the date was or some other excuse, I'm just not gonna let you out. How about that? Okay? Have a great day. Have a great day, sir.
I'll get it all for you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
24 hours later.
I think do we have a Ramel Wright, DDC? Is that a male or? Oh, yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate that. I see. Thank you. One moment.
His brother was right.
Okay, Mr. Wright, state your full name, please.
You're right.
Thank you. This is, sir, on case number 24057-203, People State of Michigan versus Romel Devon Wright for the people.
Samuel A. Ragnan for the people, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Philip Reagan on behalf of Mr. Wright, Your Honor. Waive the formal reading, stand mute. He has been advised of his rights.
Thank you. Court waive formal reading and her plea of not guilty. Mr. Wright, I'm scheduling 2 court dates. You must attend both of them. Probable cause via Zoom, May 23rd, Thursday, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Elias Sabri. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person, May 30th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Elias Sabri. May 23rd and May 30th. Understood, Mr. Wright? Thank you. Not guilty. Please entered on your behalf as the bond from the people.
Yeah, people are asking for a $25,000 personal bond. We're also asking for a GPS tether with a curfew. This incident revolves around the defendant trying to talk to the 17-year-old daughter of his girlfriend. She told him not to talk to him. He put on his gloves and pulled out a knife and started going towards them, saying nobody will do anything to him. Then he started threatening other people in the laundromat as well. But, Your Honor, he has a history of felony assault, 11/30/21, stalking case 11/14/23. He has other stalking case that's been dismissed. Stockings have been dismissed, Your Honor. He has a $2,000 cash surety on that stocking case on 10/25/23, which originally was a personal bond, but he has that pending, I believe, Your Honor. So he hasn't shown up for court when requested to do so. So we believe a GPS tether not only to protect these complainants. Okay.
I apologize, Mr. Ragnan. Could you clarify that? APA, you indicated he has not showed up as ordered. What matter has he have a KPS on? I must have missed it.
That would be on the 11/30 felony assault case and the stalking case. Aggravated stalking.
He had failure to appear on both of those?
Well, they were both together, I believe, Your Honor, but he failed to show up on that matter back on 10/23/23, and he had a $2,000 cash surety bond. as a result of his failure to appear when requested to do so.
I appreciate that, APA. Thank you for that information, sir. Put your hand down, sir. You'll have a chance, Mr. Wright. Just give
Your Honor,
council a moment. Go ahead.
For the safety of the complainants, Your Honor, and of the public, since he was threatening people in the laundromat as well, we believe, we have no problem with the personal bond, but we believe a GPS tether, home arrest, well, not home arrest, with curfew would be appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you. Response, Mr. Reagan.
Well, Judge, I just, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, was working at the laundromat that day. He was simply working, and the young ladies were washing clothes, and he simply made a comment that was not inappropriate, talking about coins. I think the mother thought that he was saying something else. He said, "Hey, no, I'm not saying anything inappropriate to your daughter, ma'am." And then they started to yell and get irate with him. He says he never pulled out a knife. There was some arguing going back and forth, Judge. That's where he works. And I think he might have said, "Yeah, nobody's going to put me out of here." He did say that, Judge, because that's where he worked. But he wasn't trying to be aggressive. He didn't know these people. He was just trying to be helpful at the time. And then it's turned into something, Judge. But I would point out, I would not object to a personal bond, Judge. I don't think he knows these women. I don't think he's going to have contact with these women. So I don't think he's a threat to these particular women. I just think it got a little heated. Voices got raised, tempers got raised. But that's all I think it was, Judge, based on my information from Mr. Wright. So I'm asking the court and to go along with what Mr. Ragnar said with the personal bond. I just don't think a tether in this situation is necessary for the safety of the individual.
And I seen you had your hand was raised, Mr. Wright. Let me give you your bond conditions, and then that may answer your question. But if you have anything you'd like to say or ask, you'll have the opportunity. Okay, Mr. Wright, these are very serious assaultive allegations. I have concerns not only regarding your prior convictions as indicated by APA Ragnar, but also your failure to appear on assaultive convictions, stalking specifically. That failure to appear is concerning regarding your intention to appear and handle this matter as ordered, though it is unrelated. Also concerning is the safety of the public, as it's alleged, the just allegations, that you put on gloves, produced a pocket knife, and started walking towards victims. Also alleged concerning is you began threatening other people inside of the laundromat. So while in possession of a knife, it's alleged that you were walking towards victims and then began threatening other people, which is concerning regarding the safety of the public. And it's alleged that a pocket knife was recovered and placed onto evidence. And both victims allegedly want to go forward with charges according to the information before the court. So given an assaultive allegation not only against these victims, but against the public at whole as alleged, or other individuals at the laundromat, and get coupled with your criminal history as well as capious history on other unrelated matters, bond is going to be set as recommended by the people, $25,000 personal bond. During this bond, Mr. Wright, there is no use of alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons. Prior to being released, you will be fit with a GPS tether, given the concerns that placed on a record, not only regarding the safety of the complaining witnesses, the public, but also your failure to appear. That will place you under a curfew of 9 p.m. to 6. Put your hand down, sir. I'll give you a chance. Just one moment. You have a curfew of 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. During those hours, you're to go to your home, remain there, and not leave for any reason. No contact with either victims or complaining witnesses, both Simmons. No contact with either Miss Simmons or any complaining witness. Is no contact of any kind. No contact orally in writing through a third party at their place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. And no contact with either Miss Simmons. And during this bond, you're not to go do not go anywhere near the area or premises of the Grand River address in Detroit, Michigan, where this allegation took place, as well as the Burt Road address where Miss Simmons reside. No contact with that area or premise till told otherwise. Okay, so Mr. Wright, I see you have questions. Do you have any questions on your court date or bond conditions only, sir?
Last time I was just speaking with this guy yesterday. He was just saying the same thing about tether again. I was in a shelter. That was the only reason why I missed court the first time. I'm not going to miss court again. I'm not in no danger or putting anyone in danger. I was at work. And I told the lady, if the machine start working and stop working the right way, you can let us know. That's all I did. The officer, when he arrested me, I had other gloves in my pocket too, because I was taking the trash out. cutting the trash off the trash cans. I never said nothing wrong to nobody. When I clocked out of work and I was walking out the building, they were following me. I wasn't arguing or saying nothing to nobody. I told the lady, all I did was say something about the machine. If it started malfunctioning, you got to come right here to get your coins back. I just went to jail, got out December 9th, 40 days solitary confinement on tether. He was just speaking the same thing yesterday. Please, sir, I'm trying to keep my job. I'm trying, I don't,
Okay.
I feel like
Mr. Wright.
What was he locked in solitary confinement for 40 days, and why was he in solitary confinement? And why was he here? Yes. And why was he here yesterday?
Tether.
Why was he being arraigned on yesterday?
I was on tether.
He had a retail fraud matter, Judge, yesterday. He had 3 cases. He had 1,010%, but 2,010% bonds for Judge Bryant.
For failure to appear?
For failure to appear because he was doing 40 days. He did 40 days, Judge. I don't know why those cases weren't included. I honestly don't. But he did.
What was he doing 40 days in solitary confinement for?
The stalking cases that Mr. Rad had talked about
And they never
previously.
came.
Right.
So those were stalking convictions.
It wasn't even stalking. I
No,
worked
they
at
were
the
dismissing.
city.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Dismissals,
All right,
Your Honor, I
anything-
believe, failure to appear, not conviction.
Please, man, can we keep my job,
So
man?
the only thing
Okay, any response, Mr. Ragnan, from Mr. Wright's statements? And Mr. Ragnan and Mr. Reagan next?
We are, no, I have no response to that, but my question though is that, did you order him not to return to the laundromat?
I was working 3 to 11.
We had no problem with the curfew for that purpose, if the court sees fit to work.
Oh, do you want him to go back? It's okay for the people to go, for him to go back to the laundromat with a curfew?
That's what I had said, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, based on the people's recommendation, Mr. Wright, I'll allow you to go back to that location, the laundromat. That's your recommendation, correct, APA? I'm striking that condition.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, but do not go near the Burt address. Okay, anything further? Okay, that's fine. Anything further from people or defense?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Judge, that's what I was going to ask for, and I thank Mr. Ragnan for clearing that up. That was my concern, him being able to go to work. So that's what I was going to ask for, but thank you.
Okay, anything else from either party?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Is there any way that I don't have to get
Judge,
on
I'm sorry, Judge. 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. are the work hours. So could the court, I know the court has said between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. Could the court fix it so it doesn't affect the work hours, curfew?
So, yep. So it's going to be from 12 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Welcome. Anything further from either counsel?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Can I speak with my lawyer before we cancel out, Judge?
Yes, if we could bring him to camera 2,
We got to go on camera 2.
Okay.
Well, you can stay right there, sir. Stay right there, sir. It's up to DDC. You can go to camera 2, but also I can put you in a breakout room right here because we're about to go to the men's side or female side.
That's true too.
You stay right here. That's fine. Okay, I'll put you in a breakout room right now, sir. 1 second.